All over the world, frogs are dying. In Australia alone, 40 species are either threatened or endangered. Another 7 have already become extinct. We know that frogs are very sensitive to their environment. Could it be global warming that's killing them, as some scientists believe? Or perhaps an increase in ultraviolet rays caused by a thinning of the ozone layer? Until recently, no one had thought to look for disease, but now it seems that this could be the key. Here in Geelong, at this high-security laboratory, scientists have found at least part of the answer. They have discovered a completely new species of fungus, a species that feeds on the skin of frogs, and once it takes hold, appears to be 100% fatal. The culprit is called the chytrid fungus, and it was discovered last year by Dr. Lee Berger of the CSIRO's Animal Health Laboratories in Geelong.
This is a toe from an infected frog. This is a whole toe, and you can see how roughened the surface is. And if you look on higher power, you can see the individual cells of the surface. A few of these cells have discharge tubes of the fungus just poking through the surface of the cell.
The fungus feeds on the keratin layer of the frog's skin, using a toxin to break it down. Lee Berger suspects that the toxin itself poisons the frog, or that it damages the skin so much that frogs can no longer use it to breathe or to control their water intake. Since its discovery, the chytrid fungus has been found in Central and South America and been associated with other frog declines. For many species in Australia, this may be their only hope. Here, banks of tadpoles live in sanctuary from the fungus. Frogs on the brink of extinction are recovered from the wild and brought to the safety of the Amphibian Research Centre in Melbourne, where they are helped by scientists to fight the chytrid fungus.
I'll just see whether
Jerry Marantelli is a herpetologist who runs the centre.
The situation's pretty grim. We've lost at least a handful of species already. We have at least another handful or more that are well on their way to extinction. Nearly all population declines in Australia have had chytrid fungus present at the time the declines have occurred. So I think we're very close to saying that the chytrid fungus is one of the final stages in frog decline. But irrespective of whether it is causing decline single-handedly or is just the last sequence in a long procession of other kinds of change, treatment of it could still avert the declines.
In a trial program, scientists at the centre and the Geelong laboratories are treating tadpoles with antifungal agents. At the tadpole stage, the fungus only affects their teeth. That's because tadpoles have no keratin layer in their skin for the fungus to eat. But once they metamorph into adult frogs and grow a normal layer of keratin, the fungus goes on the attack. So the scientists are dosing the tadpoles with antifungals, trying to find a combination that keeps the tadpoles from taking the infection into adulthood.
Once we see a population decline, the adult frogs are gone, there is still genetic material in that site to be salvaged. We can remove tadpoles, potentially treat them, remove the contamination or the infection of chytrids from them, and then use those to produce adult frogs for either re-release or breeding programs to re-establish those populations.
Guys, just stay still for a second.
For adult frogs who become infected, it may already be too late. Treatment hasn't always been successful. But for its younger brothers and sisters who are still tadpoles, there is some hope. If the antifungal treatment works on tadpoles, it may buy time for those species on the brink of extinction. Time enough, perhaps, for scientists to find a cure.
And that's Quantum for this week.